In the past three episodes, we talked about a basic framework to be able to understand the biological factors of human happiness. You can bring to your mind the happiness sum equation or the bicycle analogy. There are two things which are important to be understood about them. The first, we are hypothesizing that the biological takes up to 60 to 70% and the social factors take 30 to 40%. We are in effect saying that biology is the bigger wheel and also almost double the size of the social factors. The second point is that you only truly feel happy when the sum comes closer to 100%. If it's lesser to that, there can be a feeling of lacking, hollowness, or resentment. And it could be because of either of them. You might be lacking in the social factors or in the biological factors. One might be socially very fulfilled but biologically very depleted, or vice versa. In the last episode, while we were discussing the characteristics or dharma of the human element, we identified it being the dominion of the mind. We talked about the dharma of other elements like space, energy, matter, life, animals. We optionally kept human beings as a separate element than the animals and the need for it. But the dharma of the human element is the dominion of the mind, and it operates through consciousness. Consciousness is a complex thing, and so is biology. Biology operates through the DNA, the genome, and it's in this molecule that it stores all the information. Consciousness stores information in neurons. So, consciousness operates consciously and biology operates subconsciously. Now, conscious ways of doing anything are very energy consuming and can be tiring. Take, for example, breathing. We have been breathing since we were born, but you can also consciously do breathing exercises or pranayam. But most people get tired doing them just after a few minutes. And subconsciously, we have been breathing many times a minute since we were born, and we are still not tired. Life stores most of its biological information in the DNA and operates subconsciously. Doing it consciously would be a hell of a task. Wild animals have a very strong body-mind synchronicity, and they're mostly operating subconsciously, and hence it looks almost effortlessly. Through consciousness or the dominion of mind, we have expanded and created many wonderful things, but this expanse has come at the cost of shrinking subconscious. Now, wild animals need not to be told what to eat, when to eat, what to drink, how much to walk. They don't need any smart watches or sleep rings, and they can still operate perfectly well. This reminds me of our cat Mutlu. Now, Mutlu came to us as a very little kitten, just a month old. It started living with us, it grew up, and one day it became pregnant. Now, we were wondering, this cat has not lived with other cats. Does it even know that she's pregnant? Does she know how the whole pregnancy happens? See, we were in the human mode, and that panicked us because in humans it involves long pregnancy, doctors, hospitals, so many things. And here is this cat. What does it know? We were worrying. We spoke to some friends, and they said that you should go to a vet and also take the cat to a vet nursing home. Now, while all of this was going on, Mutlu disappeared one day. We looked everywhere, but she came back the next day on its own, and she brings a little kitten in her mouth and deposits the kitten in my room. Then she goes back, brings another, repeats the same thing, and now there are 3 kittens. I was shocked. This cat handled everything on its own. I cannot imagine this being with a human. Now, with consciousness, of course, we have done many great things. We have built the internet, the highways, bridges, so many things which we cannot imagine an animal to make. We can do many complicated things with our consciousness, but when it comes to biological functions, which have to happen subconsciously, wild animals do much, much better than us. Right now, we are in a situation where we need to be told how much to eat, how much to drink, how much to sleep. This is not at all the case with wild animals. And so this expanding consciousness, this dominion of mind has come at the cost of shrinking subconscious. And even after so much technology and consciousness put together, we are still falling behind the number of steps that we need to walk every day. The biological happiness that we are talking about is nothing new. It has been operating within us for millions of years, but subconsciously. It is only now that a lot of subconscious biological functions are not happening on their own that do we need to think about them consciously. We need to be aware that the research for all of these factors still knows very less. And as it progresses, some understanding is likely to change. Even when we are talking about something in very clear scientific terms, like serotonin, vitamin B12, it doesn't just limit to that specific chemical molecule per se, or its synthetic equivalent. For example, we know that lack of sunshine can cause depression in people. Sunshine helps to produce vitamin D. Lack of vitamin D is known to be related to depression, and vitamin D is available in pills or sachet. Now, if we were to extrapolate these 4 points to this understanding that the vitamin D in pills or sachet is equivalent to the sunshine and its effect on depression, this might be a bit misguided thing. We don't yet know what are the multitude of biological processes which goes on when body produces its own vitamin D. The safer thing would be to engage in some sunbathing and top up your vitamin D.